You know from the opening 2 minutes what you're going to get in this movie. That opening scene is quite. You get it gets you ready for what's
It's kind
coming
of
up.
yeah, it's kind of taboo that, and we thought would we be going too far with that, but it's a similar, our vampires know when it's a woman's time of the month, a bit like a shark. If you cut yourself in the water, the shark's going to come. And
Yeah.
and it was actually my girlfriend that thought of it, so it wasn't a sort of male misogynistic idea. My girlfriend goes, "Why don't you get the vampires so they know it's a woman's time of the month?" We were actually thinking of doing a press thing. We were going to do garlic infused Bogieville tampons to
Okay.
protect you from our hillbilly vampires, but that might have been a bit a bridge too far.
Well, garlic definitely works in your movie. I know in some vampire movies, garlic's a fallacy.
Mm, yeah, for sure.
It's sort of about family and emotion and a community. Was that the case when you were directing it? Were the cast all just one community as well?
Yeah, it was one crazy family, and I directed at least 40% of the film in full vampire makeup. So I had teeth in, full sclera lenses, so I couldn't see and I couldn't talk.
Yeah.
But I looked pretty scary, so everybody did what they were told. Um, but yeah, I got the screenplay for this from Henry Gravel, who's in his late 70s now. He lives in Boston, Massachusetts, and he gave me this screenplay 10 or 11 years ago, and we didn't have the money. And anyway, and then about 3 years ago, I moved on to a farm, and we've got about 22 acres of land. We only rent it, but it's really nice. And I thought, wow, this is Bogieville. And I managed to find an investor for the small amount of money. Well, I mean, it's still a couple of $100,000. It's a lot of money, but in the scheme of things, it's not very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I then proceeded to go on Facebook Marketplace and find dilapidated trailers and drag them from all corners of England and place them on the farm here. I mean, when I got the first one, it fell out, the wheel fell off, and I was driving a van, and this bloody thing was dragging along behind me. And my girlfriend doesn't speak to me anymore because it took us a year and a half to get the bloody trailers off the land. And it was a big challenge because the film is set in America, but we shot it in rainy Surrey on my farm, so that was
Right.
another challenge.
I was going to ask you that. It looked to me like it was a camping ground, and you kind of like took over for a while, but it was your farm and
Yeah.
trailers and caravans that you'd bought.
Well, we did. We got most of them for free because they were deliberately, completely dilapidated. We wanted them to look really horrible because
Yeah.
our vampires are not the glamorous Interview with a Vampire or
Fair enough.
that live. These guys have been condemned to eternal vampirism, and most of them don't really want to be there. And it's a kind of different take. They're kind of hillbilly vampires, but they don't really want to be there. But the craving for blood is what keeps them alive. They don't have a glamorous existence. They sleep in horrible trailers all day and then go out and eat people at night. It's a bit of a weird one.
Well, you looked quite menacing, as you said. You were directing in that makeup, and those teeth, were they molded for each actor? Because it kind of looked like some of those teeth were different. They weren't from
Yeah,
the
they were
same
all
mold.
different. They were all different. And what the
Yeah.
very quick funny story. So what it is that you have to put polymer beads behind them. You melt them. You put
Yeah.
them in your mouth for 5 minutes until it's almost set, and then you take them out. You let them go off. They go completely hard, and then they fit over your teeth perfectly. So you don't need, a denture fix or anyway. One night we're shooting. It's very long night, very, very cold, very wet. Uh, and I've put my teeth in to get them molded and forgotten to take them out.
Oh no.
And then I've gone on, we've done the scene, and suddenly I've got to the end of the night and they will not come out. They will not budge. And the whole crew are laughing. Hey, it's going to be permanent vampire. And the only way you can get them out is by putting your teeth literally in boiling water. So
Oh.
yeah, a cup of boiling water and then put my teeth in it. And it took about an hour to get them off. And I thought, I'm going to be stuck with these forever. But yeah, it was lots of crazy things happened on the set. I mean, we had our DOP was in a cherry picker, about 30 foot in the air, and then we had another cherry picker with a huge light creating the moon. Anyway, we've done the shoot. I said, right, let's get the moon down. The moon comes down.
Oh,
We go to click the DOP, nothing happens. And he can't come down. And it's freezing cold, and there's wind and rain, and he's in this cherry, and it's moving around like this. And it was 4 in the morning. So
oh no.
I'm phoning the guy. I'm saying, listen, the cherry picker won't come down. He's not answering. He's asleep. It's 4 in the morning. And what it was is one of the legs wasn't completely straight. So it's got a fail system that it won't come down. After about,
Gotcha.
well, we clicked and I pushed the leg down and eventually it came down. But this poor DOP, I thought he thought it was going to be the end of his life. You know, even on the last day of shooting, I had the Arifin Putra, who's a big star. He's the Tom Cruise of Indonesia, which is what kind of why we cast him, because we know that in that territory we got a chance of making some of our money back.
Sure.
It was his last day, and we had like 70 cast and crew, 20 vampires, crazy. A storm comes in, a huge storm is coming in, and we're building up. I say, right, roll cameras, roll sound, stand by. Suddenly, a tree comes down. Bang! Like an oak tree falls down, takes out all the power in the entire village.
Oh dear.
So I have to take the entire cast and crew to the pub. But so
Oh, that's bad luck.
anything that can go wrong on movies, you know, people don't realize that, you know, 100, it nearly killed 100 people making that film. I mean, there was one day when Arifin, again, the lead, we handcuffed him to a police car and then we lost the keys to the handcuffs. And
Oh no.
he's a bit, love him, but he's a bit of a diva because he's a big star. And 2 hours, he's getting very, get me out these fucking handcuffs, you know. Anyway, it was quite a challenge, this film, I will say.
Well, the trials and tribulations of any independent film can always have its positives and its negatives. But if you're determined like you are, you're going to get it done. I mean, it takes a lot of effort to get a movie just completed and on the screen. So congratulations on Bogieville.
Yeah, it was tough.
Why call it Bogieville? I know it's explained in the movie, but did you have other titles in mind?
Well, it was funny because so Henry, Madison, my character Madison loves Humphrey Bogart.
Yeah.
In America, bogey means Humphrey Bogart, or it means the boogeyman or the bogeyman. Over here, it means boogers up your nose.
Right.
The distributors over here goes, you can't call it Bogieville. You know, people, they will call it Sundown Park or call it this or call it that. But I said, no, I love Bogieville. It's a quirky name. It's just got character. And I just think it suits. So I had to really fight to maintain that name. So, but that's why it's called Bogieville, because Madison's a big Humphrey Bogart fan. That's what it was about.
Well, in Australia, it's the same thing. Bogies are bogies up there.
Oh, really? Yeah. So that was a challenge. In fact, on some of the social media, people going, "Oh, great, a film about bogies." So yeah, it was but I just like the quirky name. I just think it suits it. It suits it better than Sundown Park or, you know, something like that.
I noticed you cast Sophie Rankin and Sarah Alexandra Marks from Escape in this movie. They're great. I mean, how did you go about casting your leads as well?
Well, I know. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Escape. I am the horrible sex trafficker in Escape.
It's a great movie, Escape. I mean, when I say a great movie, it's very well done. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, and it's another indie movie that filmmakers have got a lot out of.
Yeah, no, he's got. Well, Howard's a great friend of mine. I've worked with Howard a few times, and I in fact introduced Howard to Sarah and Louis back years ago at the Cannes Film Festival. I was co-hosting a rain dance party at my villa. I rent a villa every year there, and that's when they met. But it was strange. Sarah was actually up to play Jodie, but then she's so sweet and innocent, and I needed somebody a little bit tougher. Although she's brilliant, I mean, it was very close. But Eloise,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Eloise is she's just amazing. Eloise is one of two twins, actually. I've worked with her sister.
Oh right.
So yeah, identical twins. It's quite uncanny. I worked with Sophie at Lovell Anderson many years ago, and I originally asked Sophie, but she couldn't do it. And then she said, "Have you seen my sister?" I said, "No." And then I met her. I've cast. I mean, I've directed several features now, and I've cast Jonathan Hansler in pretty much all of them because he plays Crawford, and Jonathan is in real life a very tortured soul. I mean, for various reasons. He's happy now. He used to have like me. I
Okay.
used to drink too much, and I still drink too much. But he was just. I think he was brilliant as Crawford. I also directed a film called Our Kid recently, and the young Poppy J. Hughes, who plays the young vampire Lily, was
Okay.
my lead in that. And Poppy, she's just incredible. I mean, I think she was 12 years old when we shot that, and you have to obviously get special licenses to have kids and stuff. And I had her mum on set all the time, but bless her, she was dressed as a vampire. We've also got Serena Taylor, who plays my wife, and she is Roger Taylor from Queen's Wife, right?
Wow.
So because she's a godmother of my children. I directed her, and I'm a single father of two girls, never met their mum, and she offered years ago when I was a pauper. Oh, have you got a godparent for your kids? Would you like me to be the godmother? But nowadays they keep saying, "Hurry up and die, Dad, so we can go and live with Serena," because
Oh no.
she lives in a 60 million pound mansion with Roger, and she's on my movie set on a dirty mattress in the basement, getting equity minimum for me. And so a real honor to have somebody of that caliber. And she was so humble and amazing. So yeah, it was a challenging, an interesting cast, and it was lots of fun casting them. And everyone was just incredible. The patience they had to have, because we were shooting on an indie film. You can't afford to go over. You've got to get it in the can that day. And we shot for 35 or 40 days back to back. We had 2 days off.
And you stayed under budget?
No, we went over by about 20,000 because of that storm, because it ruined it, and I had to fly Arafin back in and then
Yeah.
recreate that whole day. So yeah, we came in about 20k over, which I had to borrow off various people.
Well, I've got to say, I like the movie. Did you lose your voice at all? You've already got a husky voice, but you sort of enhanced it as your character.
Yeah, we kind
Did
of
you
pitched
lose your
it out a
voice?
little bit. Yeah, I did lose my voice a little bit. It was weird because I can do an American accent reasonably well when I've got normal teeth. But when you've got those teeth in it, you just start talking like Richard III. It was like, so I had to re-ADR a lot of my vocals and stuff, because it was really, I mean, it was so hard to speak with those teeth in. It was almost impossible, and to see with those lenses in.
Before we wrap it up, was there any ever thought of maybe putting some more comedy in it? Because there's a few touches of comedy, but
Yeah, I mean, it's the
it seems
screen.
like you're holding back.
Yeah, well, the weird thing was the screenplay didn't have that comedy in it. And we just found moments as we went along. I mean, I just remember the sheriff at the end when he's trying to shoot the vampire. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I mean, there is a rumor. Oh my God, I don't know if I can say this, but there's a rumor of Bogieville too. And if we do it, I think absolutely we're going to inject more humor, because it is tongue in cheek. The whole thing is tongue in cheek.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's inject some more humor in there. But yeah, we'll see.
Well,
I don't know if I can bear the thought, and whether or not I'll let my missus will let me shoot another vampire movie on the land. It's like, no, she's gonna go, don't shoot, but no more trailers and no more vampires. But I'll talk her into it. I'm sure I will.